My article is titled The Worst Media Disaster of March 2014 by Brad Phillips. Phillips starts by quoting media critic Jay Rosen. As of today, I have retired from criticism of CNN for falling short of some sort of journalistic standards. He continues to argue that since CNN no longer holds itself to new standards, it would be pointless for him to do so. Phillips then says he agreed with much of Rosen's premise, but he wasn't quite ready to give up on his former employer. Phillips worked at CNN from 1999 to 2001. Phillips says he cherishes the role that CNN should be playing, a straight-up-the-middle news outlet. Phillips wanted to believe that the network would eventually wander back to its roots. Instead, with its very unusual coverage of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, CNN has taken a giant step backwards. He even compares the network to the Jerry Springer Show. Phillips backs up his comments with examples of Don Lemon's newscasts. First, Lemon speculated that the supernatural could be responsible for the disappearance of the plane. He quotes Lemon, especially today on a day when we deal with the supernatural, we go to church, the supernatural power of God. People are saying to me, why aren't you talking about the possibility, and I'm just putting it out there, that something odd happened to this plane, something beyond our understanding. Lemon went on to speculate whether a black hole could have somehow sucked the plane out of the sky. Phillips continues by adding CNN's sister network, HLN, hosted a psychic who claims the passengers are alive and she doesn't like to rely on facts. Even though the coverage has been atrocious, he says, the network's ratings are actually up. Though he wants to point out that popularity doesn't go hand in hand with quality. Phillips does add that since CNN has some worthy journalists still working for the network, most of whom are his friends and former colleagues. But that's beside the point. The network is only as good as its weakest programming. Like Jay Rosen before him, Phillips is done with expecting more out of CNN. He is choosing to find his news in places that, quote, exercise more journalistic restraint. This brings me to my point of news channels having the responsibility of delivering proper communication to their audiences. In my view, the role of the reporter and the audience has the same interpersonal communication aspects as any other type of communication relationship. From the very beginning of our textbook on page 2, it talks about the importance of proper communication skills for professional success in all aspects of professions. On page 22, our textbook talks about interpersonal competence, where the communicator is to think critically and mindfully. On page 24 and 25, our textbook stresses how important it is for the communicator to be culturally aware and sensitive, along with the importance of the communicator being ethical. The article points out the lack of CNN and its affiliates to comply with any of these crucial aspects of respectful communication.